What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in. So let's talk about how to find any hiring manager's email address in seconds. So this is the blueprint for fulfillment for a lead generation agency. If you're trying to get leads for a staffing and recruitment client, or if you run a staffing and recruitment agency yourself and you're just trying to get more leads, this is the blueprint I've gone over in previous videos. So at this point, you've scraped LinkedIn jobs and you have a spreadsheet full of LinkedIn jobs that were recently posted, and now you're trying to clean this data. So what happens is you're going to import this data into Clay, and you're going to realize that maybe 20 to 30% of the jobs have the hiring manager, the direct person facilitating the search. They have that person's information. And about 70% of them don't have any sort of hiring manager at all. And the 20 to 30% of jobs that do have the hiring manager's information only have the hiring manager's full name and headline and department and stuff like that, but it usually doesn't have the hiring manager's email address. So you're kind of stuck, right? So the whole thing you have to do now, because you're on the second step now of cleaning the job data, what you have to do, I mean, you don't have to do this, but it's convenient to do this, is to figure out what this hiring manager's email address is, right? Because if you have the hiring manager right in front of you, why not just contact them directly instead of going to Apollo? You know, this takes a bit of extra time. It's an extra step, but instead of just going to Apollo and scraping the possible hiring managers and then trying to play a guessing game and go from there, if you have some information about who the hiring manager might be, you might as well just use it. So let's talk about how to do that. So let's go into Clay and just show you a quick example. So these are jobs. I filtered this for jobs where, so I've scraped this from LinkedIn. And I filter this so that it's only showing jobs right now where the hiring manager is present. So it shows the recruiter, hiring manager / recruiter. This is not the decision maker, by the way. This is not like the CEO or the head of the department. This is just the person facilitating the search. This is the recruiter, the person who posted the job. So the recruiter / hiring manager, not the decision maker. That's an important difference. Okay. So now, if you take a look right here, right? It shows the recruiter name in this column right here. It shows the recruiter's headline, but that's it. So these email addresses, I'll show you how I got them, but it didn't come with this. It almost never does. Imagine, like, you can go on LinkedIn jobs yourself. You're not going to find the person's email address. It's just not, or else they're going to get spammed. So they wouldn't post their email address on there. So I'll show you how to find it, right? So far you have the recruiter's full name. Not even in two different columns, first name and last name, just their full name, and the recruiter headline. So here's what you do. So you're going to use Clayagent or ChatGPT as an integration. I use ChatGPT. You can also use Gemini as well, but Gemini is just so slow, it makes my head hurt. So I use ChatGPT 4o Mini, and you're going to use a prompt something like this. Doesn't need to be exact, but just something like this. So I have a list of recruiters and companies. Can you find the most likely professional email address for each recruiter based on their name, their company name, and the company's website? So I fed it those three inputs. So the recruiter's full name, the company name, and then the company website. Gave it some examples. So the recruiter's name / title or headline, the company name, and then the company website, right? So I actually didn't even put the person's name in this prompt, but the prompt still works really well. So that's what that looks like. And then it says, please use publicly available information. So LinkedIn, company websites, email pattern databases to generate the most probable email address, right? Example, john.doe@company.com. If you can't find the exact name, infer it based on the recruiter's title and domain pattern. List sources when possible. Output only the email address, no other text or characters. How I got that prompt is I just told ChatGPT what I wanted. Like, I went to chatgpt.com and I just told it what I wanted, and it just gave me an example prompt, and I just kept refining it from there. So ChatGPT or Clayagent is going to research this and give you the most likely email address. So it outputs it here, and I just outputted the final response in this column right here. Not that you have to, I just like separating it like that. Cool. All right, so now we have what is the best guess of the email address. But we have to take another step here, right? So we use ChatGPT or Clayagent to make the guess. It did some research, it looked at the website, and it gave us its best guess. Now we have to confirm that that email address is actually the right one or that it's actually valid. So how do we do that? You can do it in this table, but I like to do it in a different table, in the same table as all the other possible hiring managers that I've scraped from Apollo. So I do that I do this in one table in step 4. If you don't know what I mean, I encourage you to watch my last video. So I'm going to a new Clay table here, and I have all the hiring managers, right? I have all the hiring managers, and what I do now is I confirm it with a validation tool. I personally use Mail Tester Ninja. A lot of other people like Million Verifier or Zero Bounce or whatever it might be. So I use this integration here, which is Mail Tester Ninja. I think my token is probably expired, but you would run this. Let me just show you what that looks like. I don't want to have to input a whole new token. I might. Let's see if it's expired. But anyway, so you would run this, and it would show accepted, rejected, catch all, excuse me. Yeah, see, my token's timed out. But you have the final result here anyway. So it'll show you accepted, rejected, catch all. It'll show you if it's Microsoft or Google, so on and so forth. And I mean, you're good to go from there. From there, you can personalize it. Nice and easy. So that's how you do it. Okay. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you want us to audit your cold email campaign, set up the infrastructure, help you get leads, if you run a B2B business, I'll post a link in the description to my website so you can schedule a chat with myself. All right, guys, hope this helps. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.